Air conditioning break.
Air conditioning break.
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning
Air
break.
con.
Hey.
Air conditioning.
Oh shit.
Air conditioning.
It's colder now. It's colder now. Get the air. Get colder now. Get colder now. It was hot a second ago. Colder now. It's colder now. In a Tesla, we're colder now. It's too hot.
Air conditioning.
No, I won't stop the way that I keep to deliver.
SJ.
I'ma make these haters reconsider.
BPC.
I kick back,
Oh,
stay
yeah.
high up for life.
Oh, yeah.
And now I won't stop.
I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. I won't stop, I can't stop, even if I try. Even if I try.
Hello, and welcome to Y'all Boys Talkin, a podcast about nonsensical improvement where each week we not only talk about bettering ourselves, but how we can help you better yourself by hearing us better ourselves. It's like a liquidation sale. My name is Joshua Jean-Baptiste.
Frank Hernandez.
I'm Maximo Santana.
And I'm Steve Della Valentina.
And we are Y'all Boys. The four of us have come up with this concept called STTT, straight to the top. Now, if I was an astronaut that lost my oxygen, was floating in space, and I crash landed on Earth 20,000 years later, and I saw you, Max, and I said, hey, what is STTT? What would you tell me?
Ooh, great question. I would say STTT is all about jumping on the dance floor of life
Oh shit.
when the DJ is playing your jam at the right exact moment, using all of your hard work, determination to bust out all your favorite dance moves and just grind it out all night to success.
All right.
You know what?
You know he's had better.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
He's had better. That's fine.
okay.
He's
It's
had
fine.
better.
It's fine. Like,
He's had better.
It's topical.
Hey, for those that were confused by that, getting your goals. That's what STT is about.
Yes, getting all the way to the top.
We normally have a segment called STTT of the week, but guess what? To give you some context, we are tired. And
Wait, we're not just tired. We're live.
we're live.
Oh, yes.
We're in the flesh.
We are. This is a YBT exclusive. Can we get some hip hop horns?
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We're never going to do this again.
It's
I mean,
very
perhaps
rare. Yeah.
this specific thing,
Yeah.
perhaps we're not going to do this again.
This is true.
We are currently in a Tesla Model X.
Yeah. All four of us.
All four of us.
Yep.
After our high school reunion.
Yes.
Yeah, and for the first time, we are recording this podcast with the four of us in the same exact physical space on Earth.
Nas inspired us. All we need is one mic.
One mic.
One of the guys. It's also the Tesla could probably tell you exactly how our challenge checkup went to, but let's take it back a little bit. Let's
All right.
go to our first segment this week, the challenge checkup.
God, I can't imagine screaming that fucking theme song with me right now. My voice is shot as hell, so bear with me, audience, if I sound raspy or I sound like Lou Rawls or something.
It's the after hour.
But
This is Y'all Boys Talking Nights.
we're gonna jump right into the meat and potatoes of our episode, which is our challenge checkup. Oh, so long ago, Maximo Santana came up with this crazy idea. He was like, yo, I think we should give each other New Year's resolutions, which we have rebranded into challenges. Over the course of this podcast, you will see us fail, succeed, cry, and strive to reach our collective goals.
But to make things a little more interesting, we decided that because our 10-year high school reunion is this year, and not only this year, it was about 3 hours ago, we have to complete all 12 challenges, 3 each, by 3 hours ago. If we failed, we have to go up to our fellow alumni and tell them how we failed ourselves and each other. But if we succeeded in these challenges, we would show up
To our reunion.
in a
Tesla.
Tesla blasting various songs from YBT Presents Songs to Flex to, which is available on Spotify and still in this link today.
You have to
All
search
right.
the whole thing or else you're not going to find it.
Yeah, you
it
gotta
is
really
kinda
search
hard to
everything.
find.
Yeah, play it back in slow
We'll,
motion.
we'll get on that process, but
Yeah.
but I will say, as a person that has listened to the playlist today, guess what? It's good.
It works.
Good amount of slappers in there.
There's a lot of
It's a lot of
slapperoonies.
slapperoonies. It's obvious we couldn't really hide the fact that we were in a Tesla, so clearly there's some good news. So we're going to jump right in with our wonderful, illustrious Steve De La Valentina.
Yo.
How were your challenges this week, bro? How did you slam dunk?
So the past 2 challenges of journaling every day and not waiting were knocked out, as you've already heard. Hopefully you've heard in the previous episode. So what I had left to do was make an album.
That's it.
Yeah,
just make some music out,
Just
you know?
that.
Yeah, at the time of recording, I believe I only had about 3 songs that I more or less had done. Two of which I was just kind of like about, and so yeah, I basically had this whole week to make 2 new songs and then possibly tune up those 2 last songs, and so I did it. I hit the studio. I was in Josh's workplace, just not away from all sorts of distractions, and I got in the zone for a solid like 5 hours, just knocking out track after track.
Did the ambience help?
It kind of did, yeah. I switched up the scenes. I went from like a little bar stool kind of area, and then I had a view of like the city for a bit. Yeah, and it was
It's fancy.
yeah, funny enough, I think it was like kind of raining outside, so then
Ooh.
yeah.
My dog was in his optimum zone.
You're feeling Eminem right there.
Yeah, no, one of the songs was kind of like sad, and I think that one was Saturday. Yeah.
Your knees were weak, your arms were heavy.
Mom spaghetti.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, speaking of spaghetti.
Oh my God.
Frankie
Fuck
Spaghetti.
And so yeah, that it all came through. I was much more excited to share it with my Facebook friends and accidentally on Twitter too. I don't know how that happened, but it like cross posted.
Got it synced, man.
Yeah, yeah, but I haven't. Whatever, it hasn't happened in so many years, and I was genuinely excited to share it. And yeah, I've been getting pretty good reception.
Oh wow.
Yeah, some people are just like, wow, this is actually like good and whatever, and I'm pretty sure this is a spam bot, but I got an email from Bandcamp, which is the website I shared it on. Someone sent me a message saying that they wanted to book me for like an event, and I haven't looked into it. I just saw the
go
message.
down the rabbit hole. It might be a Nigerian prince, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm all for it.
But you could be doing a party for a Nigerian prince. It could just be like a non-scammer Nigerian prince.
I want to do my
like that.
part and help.
Yeah, you should, look into that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so that definitely seems like a interesting. I mean, I don't know how seriously I'll take it, but if it's real, it's cool. But I'm pretty sure it's spam just because I've only been on Bandcamp for like a few hours.
30 minutes.
Listen,
Yeah.
if the shows are to be believed, all an EDM DJ does is just press the play button.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got the skills to do that.
I've seen you press
I don't
play
know.
buttons before.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I learned a lot from making this album and just the whole process in itself, but I don't know if I have the confidence yet to work up playing press.
One step at a
pressing
time.
play.
One
Yeah.
step
Yeah.
at a time.
But as it stands, you completed all your goals. That was as the warden of the music challenge. You fucking did it. You called it Quite Frankly,
Yeah.
which I was just like, okay, I see what you're doing here.
Yo, let's get
Yeah.
a round of applause for Steve. Thank you for completing your challenges, bro.
No, thank you guys for challenging me. Those were some things that I initially thought, hey, these are all good for me, and they're, people looking out for me that making me do things that I once had mentioned long ago, or making me do changes that I felt like I needed in myself. And I definitely feel in many ways like a more creative and a bit more sure of myself, in the sense of being less of a perfectionist, because this mixtape and just various other things in the past 22 weeks haven't been perfect, but I've been content with just letting them go into the public, because I think that's what's really more important as a creative.
Yeah.
Big facts.
Yeah,
Into the arena.
yeah, and on the topic of journaling too, that kind of helped a lot in sorting some stuff out on my own.
Oh, did you journal
Personal
today?
stuff. I haven't. Well, the day hasn't ended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're on a very long Friday.
Yeah.
All right.
Having I would have journaled about it, but that would have been a very foresight kind of thing.
As the warden of that challenge, hi, you have passed, good sir.
Cool. I mean, at this point, I guess it'd be kind of.
What if I was a dick? I was like, nah, bitch, write it down
No,
now.
Yeah.
no.
We kick out of the Tesla at this
Delete
moment.
all your memories from tonight.
Oh man.
You don't get any of those.
Aw.
Fucking
Goodbye.
put it away.
Yo, Max, imagine if I waited for the Tesla pull up.
Oh no!
Wow. Wow. That's foresight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was my challenges, and
All right, who's
again,
next,
thank
Josh?
you guys.
All right. All right. That's great. Hey, yo, Frank, why don't you play a baseball game and strike us out the park?
All right, so I had 3 challenges. The first
Baseball game.
Baseball.
All right, so I had 3 challenges. The first one was to meditate regularly. The second one was to start the no S diet, which is no snacks, no sweets, no seconds, for 4 weeks. And my last one was to speak up more at work concerning social issues.
Wow.
Now, as y'all already know, I actually completed all my challenges about a week or 2 weeks ago.
Ahead of schedule.
I just
like a bitch.
I want to be in this.
Head full of steam.
I want to be in this Tesla. I want to be with my boys, just like flexing.
Who's my boys? Don't you mean y'all boys?
Oh shit, my bad. That's a complete
Wait,
other
wait,
band. I don't know
yeah.
who my boys
Who's
is.
my boys?
But y'all boys are
Yeah.
here, and that's who I want to flex with.
Okay.
I feel like there's racial animus in my boys.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
y'all boys is more
y'all
inclusive.
boys. It's much more inclusive. Okay, so we're sticking with that. So I want to flex with y'all boys, and you know what? I got to do it. I was a little worried about, especially the no S diet for a long while.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell y'all that I actually lost 21 pounds.
Oh,
Yo.
hip hop horns. Hip hop horns.
Elephants.
Elephants.
The sounds of weight loss, of losing.
Fat being sizzled.
Sadly,
away.
sizzled away, just like
Yeah, just
steak on a
fucking
pan.
bacon.
But yeah, I fuck.
Same thing.
It took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of like It took a lot of looking inside myself. It took a lot of people outside of myself being like, "Hey, man, you're not really doing the best you can do. Like we've seen you do it, so stick with it." And I wasn't doing it. I like there's no bullshit about it. I would have lost more weight if I would have been a little more consistent throughout all the 21 weeks. But as y'all listeners have heard, it's been an up and down struggle here and there where I'm like, oh yeah, I deserve this, I deserve that. While at the same time, caring more about things in the present. Well, caring more about things for immediate satisfaction rather than holding off on, let's say, a DiGiorno's pizza to, be the weight and have the energy that I want and that I had, more often. So, thankfully, I've been sticking with it and I've been feeling better. I've been killing it. We had some checkers literally a couple minutes ago, but it's within my range of what I'm doing. I've been very good with my diet, and it fucking shows, and I'm really happy about that.
Yo. Big ups to you, Frank. Man.
Yeah.
As far as racial shit, nothing happened. It's all good, guys. We're chilling.
Sounds good.
They did fire one of the Latina members of the crew recently. That's not fun.
You should start an uprising.
Was she messing up?
I'm not gonna front. I wasn't that close with him, so so it does suck. But other than that, I can't think of anything particularly for that. And for meditation, killing it. So you know what? The meditation particularly helped me be a little more present today, because at this reunion, like I wasn't worried about the future or the past or whatever. There's half the night I spent with my shirt open, with my gun and shit like that. And you know what? I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't give a single fuck, because I was thinking about like what would this cause into the future, but I thought like no, let me just enjoy this right now. And you know what? I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave 0 fucks, and it was absolutely amazing. I wasn't present at the 22 weeks ago, and it took a lot of work to fucking get there, but I feel today and hopefully into the future I can stay as present as I am today.
Yes, bitch. Because guess what? Your presence is a present, my G.
Just
Happy
to kick it as a
birthday.
blessing. Happy birthday.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow, we're just going to go down this silky road down to Maximo. Oh, whoa. Max, what you got, bro?
I got 3 challenges. I'm going to go into them in the order in which I completed them.
Ooh.
So, first one I completed was to see a therapist. And about 13 weeks into our...
Oh, 13-week Max.
Oh, yeah. I had my first meeting with my therapist. Great guy. Super awesome dude. Penciled me in 8:30 in the morning on Tuesdays. Perfect for my schedule. Had an awesome meeting. Got to meet somebody. Talked a lot about what I want to do with my life. And that really not just was one amazing conversation, but also got me to actually go to therapy. understand the role therapy can play in my life, and see who is the best therapist for me. So that was a lot of fun. And
You should have a gauntlet.
a gauntlet.
Just throw a bunch of therapists in an arena and see.
Oh, just
Everyone.
have them fight to save your mental
Yes,
health.
everyone should shop around for their therapist. And if that means you have to make your own personal gauntlet or a bracket, whatever you need to figure out who's best for you, you deserve it. So go out there and find the best therapist for you, because it does make a world difference. And I'm glad I did find somebody that was like, wow, this actually could be for me.
Wow.
The second challenge I completed was to write the first 60 pages of my Great American Novel.
Yo.
And what I can say after having gone through that experience is it's crazy. I feel like I can write a novel, perhaps.
I think that comes along with it.
Yeah. I had to convince myself that of a few weeks ago. But it still holds true that I wrote, I think, what's the first 2 amazing chapters of a very interesting book. And I want to write the rest of it. And in order to write those 2 chapters, I had to have a really good idea of what the rest of it was going to be about. So I still know what I want to continue to write about. And I really think I'm going to continue to write this book and keep going and see what happens with it. So very excited that I got challenged to write the first 60 pages. I shared it with the guys.
Yo, I started reading a couple pages of this shit. That's just popping, and I'm not even just gassing them up. I mean, obviously you can like edit it and shit, but but it's bringing me in, man.
Yeah,
it's
got its moments.
First testimonial right there.
Appreciate it. So that was amazing. The last challenge I completed was to get 3 people on the Best Lives model, and the Best Lives model is a way to use social media to benefit yourself and your entire whole life. And I needed to get information from people to see if any of that made sense to human beings. And I learned so much. So the main thing I learned was that this needs to be a website that people can go to and visit on their own accord and spend as much time as they want there and get what they need. And that's not what it was when I started this challenge. Now that I know that, I know I needed to go in a completely different direction than I had originally imagined and just run forward in that direction. So getting all those people on this definitely gave me a lot of awesome ideas that can be made into a website. And hopefully, instead of just getting 3 people on it in a 4-month period, I can one day get 1,000 people on it in a 24-hour period, perhaps. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to do with this. So
Max, actually, last time we left our audience, we were kind of getting on your case because you hadn't gotten a third person yet. Now, can you explain what happened today?
Today,
that third person?
Yes. In the midst of us at a photo shoot and Frank wrangling a Tesla from the internet, let the guys know that I had 2 people already done and that I perhaps needed a third. And I was like, hey guys, help me out. And they're like, you know what, Max, that doesn't actually quite satisfy the needs. So I went home, I talked to my brother, and I put him through the Best Lives model. So at least got him started. Which was what the challenge required. So, talked to my brother for a few minutes. Wasn't as in-depth and detailed a meeting as I had in the past.
Yeah. We're giving you that one, buddy.
Yeah.
But happy to say that I got that done.
So participation challenge.
Participation award is still an award.
You can put it on your mantle. It's not as big as the other trophies, but you know.
There's a lot of legal gray area that you slid through.
Okay.
Fucking legalese.
Legalese. Yes. Josh, why don't you tell us what you went through?
Oh, yeah. Tell us how you got to the end of your challenges.
So, my challenges were to have a consistent workout schedule by Frank, to keep a consistent budget by Steve, and to come out with music by Maximo Zasmo Santana. Mm-hmm. So for my first challenge, working out, and fortunately this week I had my mornings. So every morning I went out, and even if it was just a quick little, brisk little thing for 30 minutes, I went out there, I fit it in, and I got it done early in the week. So it was kind of nice to just get that out the way.
That's great progress.
And so that was a completion right there. And for my budget, fortunately this week I actually was kind of broke, so I didn't even spend any money. But what I did do was spend time to reflect on what my process is on finances. And I decided that the best option for me would be to accept certain realities. And I formulated a system that I feel like is going to benefit me, which is just to legitimately just give myself cash. And it's like, here, designate it with what you want, pay everything you need to pay, and everything else that is left in your account will just be used to pay off credit card debt. So I have cash, and once I use it, that is my money. That is my fun. You are done. That's my rhyme to myself.
So did you get, so last time we left the listeners, you need to get something to Steve.
Yes, I got Steve a detailed plan of what my plan is. He approved it and gave me a stern face and said, make sure you stick with it.
Wow.
But I feel like I do have something that can work, and I'm really excited to continue to try it out. So Steve approved my final budget proposal, and we'll get all reflective and whatnot next week. But there's a lot doing this challenge that has affected my perception of money, and I think accepting reality first is the most important thing. That being said, my final challenge was to make music. Guess what, bitches? I fucking did. I will gladly release that on the interwebs. You can play a little snippet right now. You guys want to play a little snippet? Yeah.
I don't think it's fine.
Okay, that's
It's a
fine.
bad idea.
That's fine. We're not gonna play it.
Hip hop horns.
Yeah. That'll be released at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll put it at the end of an episode one day.
Or maybe you've already heard one of the songs the entire time.
Ah.
As the Rosebud Thorn theme song was one of those songs.
Yes,
That
let's-
included a banjo.
Let's get a round of applause for me,
Got it.
please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Therefore, I have 3 tracks: the Rosebud Thorn theme song, the little boobily doop 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 sampling song that we played last week, and a late night freestyle session that I had with myself in my room
Wow.
in the evening. So, that being said, gentlemen, I have completed all my challenges.
That you did.
It was up and down there for a while, Josh.
It was a
Yeah.
rocky road.
Welcome to the
And I
Tesla.
still think there is progress to be made. Don't get me wrong. But
of course.
I think that we...
I think you did Team Josh proud.
Thanks, bro.
All the ups and
I'll
downs.
have you
All
know...
the Team Josh that held on.
I'll have you know, I've been counting, Frank, and you right now have more people on your team. Just
Yo,
FYI.
Team Frank is strong.
Oh, yeah.
Team Frank
Team
is
Frank is
strong.
strong.
I'm way Team Frank.
I'm also Team Frank. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you?
Yeah.
If you've seen the album cover, that was dedication.
I'll say this: there's a certain someone that I'm talking to right now, and I would thought that would have bias, but no, they are Team Frank. So even someone that I am romantically interested.
Listen, they're betting on the surest horse
Okay.
to win the race. I can't.
I mean,
Yeah, you can't blame them.
Frank is
It's a Vegas odds.
Frank is a good horse. Frank's always been a
Yeah,
horse,
this is-
but anyway.
That's house money right there.
On that fucking note, because this car is hot as hell, and we are tired, we're gonna take a quick break to cool off the car
An air conditioning break.
and
Air
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 conditioning.
break.
conditioning break is what's gonna happen.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here's a word from our sponsors.
What? No. Shit. Not enough time to get your work done? Feeling too tired for your workout at the end of the day? Then try waking up earlier.
I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but when I started using waking up early, it was like adding hours to my day. Now I have time to make breakfast and get to work on time. I'm a whole new me. Thanks, waking up early.
Every morning used to be a struggle. It's still a struggle, but at least I get all my shit done. Thanks to waking up early, I can have a cigarette before I take the kids to school, and that really takes the edge off. Thanks, waking up early.
Waking up early is made possible in part by your alarm. Avoid annoying alarms that make waking up unpleasant. Snooze too much? Use apps like Alarmy that make you answer questions before you can turn it off. Waking up early is not recommended for everybody. Make sure you get your 6 to 8 hours.
And we are back for the final segment today of this evening before we all can go home into our beds after a tiring evening. Our Rosebud Thorn.
Oh, I got my rose, I got my bud, I got my thorn. Here is the rose and the thorn and the bud of the week. I got my rose and my thorn and my bud.
rose is something that happened this week that you're really happy about, grateful for. Your thorn is something this week that was a little bit of a in your side. Something that was a little bit of a
Gross.
And lastly, your bud is something that you are looking forward to next week. In the spirit of us completing our challenges and today being our high school reunion, Rosebud Thorn will be deviated and specialized to talk about our reunion day. Max, why don't you start us off?
I got a rose, I got a bud, I got a thorn. And I've been thinking very carefully about what my rosebud thorn is going to be. And I wanted to pick moments that perhaps other people aren't going to highlight. I think there's some obvious rosebud thorns for the evening.
Yes.
Wanted to pick some hidden gems.
Okay. Deep cuts.
Yeah. So that we'll have a chance to really talk about something that shined. My rose was when we were leaving the function. And we got one last... Steve summoned the Tesla. It automatically backed out of its parking space. The Falcon Wing doors opened up for us. We got in the car and we drove away. And that might be the most perfect getaway in the history of us.
We also got a chance to flex on a group of people that were leaving.
Oh yeah.
We weren't even trying to flex.
That was a different flex. I mean, the summon was a flex on its own.
Yeah.
There were some people also trying to leave.
So my rose was the getaway, but there was also that flex, and the flex was also amazing.
It was just a bonus.
Yes. My thorn, I think, is a very common high school reunion thorn, and is just talking to people for an inordinate amount of time and not knowing what their name is.
Who are you?
Oh.
Yeah.
Happened a lot.
You know me, I might not know you, but we've been talking for 6.5 minutes.
I will say I had many great conversations with people.
Yeah.
Quality conversations and just not even knowing what the fucking name was.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I knew everyone I spoke to. You
Okay.
guys are terrible.
Mr.
Well, no,
I barely talk to people though.
I would
There's that.
stop the conversation and be like, listen, I gotta be honest with you, I forgot your name. Or I'll do a little trick. I'd be like, wait, hey, what's your name again? They're like, oh, they'll say their name. And I'll be like, no, your last name.
I taught you that.
Steve taught me that.
Oh, that's a Steve.
I thought I read
I've never done that.
I thought I read that on Reddit.
That's where I got it too.
Well, there you go.
So
Anyway,
favorite-
Max, carry on.
Yeah, my favorite is to say, hey, we're both going to say your first name on 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you say it, and then most people will say their name. You know, it sounds like a little ridiculous, but try it. It works more often than not, fortunately.
It's also a good icebreaker to break ice.
I mean, that makes sense. I just kind of wrote it out. You guys tried strategies and stuff like that. I just wrote it out because the amount of people that came up to all of us, it's just like, oh, you don't remember me?
Yeah.
No. The answer is no. I didn't say no, but I meant no. You don't remember me? No, sir.
Let me wrap up by saying my bud was the idea that me and everybody in this car had the ability to go to a totally dead club. I'm talking about absolutely zero action going on there.
That club was dry.
Deceased.
People went up the stairs, came back down, said oh, it's dead. Let's go. We're like,
And
no.
no, guys.
we are the party.
Yeah.
We looked at this as a challenge
This
to
is
be
for us.
conquered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weak sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an additional challenge that we overcame tonight by going into that club and making sure that everybody had a good time. And knowing that the 4 of us are capable of going out there.
We also rolled up in there 12 deep.
Oh, yeah. We
And
came
then
with a whole squad.
It got to maybe 20 plus. I don't know.
It became popping. If you go to the Drake meme about the Raptors, where it's just like, we made this. Look around you. Like, we made this.
There's nothing here before us.
This wasn't here before us. We made this.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. So that happened. I'm very happy that we were able to say that we partook in that. That's my rosebud thorn.
All right, that's amazing. Hey, Frank, what you got for us?
Okay, got a rosebud and a thorn. So let me get the thorn out of the way real quick, because there's many roses tonight. The thorn is we went to Checkers right after all the festivities, and I'm thinking, what would be perfect to cap this night? Like some nice, greasy burgers from Checkers. Living on the West Coast, we don't have those out there, so it's nice to every time I go back to Miami, I like to just enjoy 1 or 2 burgers, and it's good, and it fits within my diet currently. I'm still in a calorie
You don't
deficit.
need to give no disclaimer, dog. Own yourself, girl.
You think that's fine?
Eat that Checkers.
Yeah.
So we went. And the wait took about an hour. It was just like 3 people who I'm fairly sure are just like, man, this sucks, and like 70 Uber Eats drivers outside being like, but what about my what about my client? And it was an absolute mess. It was an absolute mess with everyone being pissed off and the workers being really tired. I was just chilling. I was still riding off the roses, which I'll talk about now. My rose, which to me, after that moment happened, every single moment in the rest of the night couldn't bother me whatsoever.
Cakewalk.
So the reunion itself was good. It was at a rooftop. We hung out, we mingled or whatever. So it was about time to like start heading to a second location. Max and I went to a number of people and it was like, hey, we're gonna go to this bar, we're gonna go to this bar, we're gonna go to this club, we're gonna go to this club, we're gonna go to this club. And he gave Steve directions. So like, hey, at this time, we're gonna have these people downstairs, and you're gonna pull up, you're gonna open the Eagle doors.
Falcon.
My bad. You're gonna open the Falcon doors, and we're gonna jump in the whip, blasting the songs from YBT Presents Songs to Flex to. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that we got a bunch of people downstairs, and not 20 seconds later, Steve pulls up with the car, blasting YBT Presents Songs to Flex to. The Falcon's doors open. We're fucking dancing. We're there.
We scream.
We fucking yell. Everyone's looking like, yo, everything that we wanted to happen with this challenge, with this car, with this thing, happened all at the same time. And
Yeah.
I can't think of, like, after that, everything was gravy.
We also got a chance to. We all ran towards the car and screaming and celebrating and dancing.
Yeah.
And we had a great opportunity to have 2 friends of the pod
Yes.
to join us in the car in this celebration, who have been following us. Shout out to Maria and shout out to Andrea. Much love for being able to,
Yep.
to sharing that moment with us.
And I also want to say, like, that moment right there that Frank was just describing was 4.5 months in the making.
Yep.
It wouldn't have felt as awesome as it felt if we didn't very long ago say that's the exact thing we wanted, and B, also put all the necessary hard work, energy, determination, effort into completing all of our challenges and making sure that it was deserved, because that was beyond deserved. It was like you getting exactly what you asked for on your like 8th birthday, which is when you wish the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
If you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we got.
We
in
got
our late 20s, which is hard to come by.
So it's a beautiful moment that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, because it's very rare that all these kind of different things happen all at the exact same time, but it did, and it was good, and I was just happy to be with y'all boys for that. And finally, my bud is, actually, I think this is probably a good time to announce it. So we're currently nearing the end of the first saga of y'all boys talking. We'll have one more episode next week to kind of give an epilogue to our challenges and whatnot. But after that, we'll be taking a short break from the actual podcast itself to kind of get all of our bearings together and make sure that the next saga of y'all boys talking is as good as it possibly be, with new challenges, same boys. And in the interim, we'll be showing a documentary series that we shot last year called Bro Trip 2, Brokio, a.k.a. Y'all Boys in Japan, a multidimensional experience. So at this point, you've already... Lots of colons.
It's good to get it checked every once in a while, guys.
So we've been having a couple of previews out recently, and it's been some of the most fun work that I've had putting those together. And if you think the previews are dope, just wait until you see the series, and that's coming real soon. So I'm so fucking excited to bring that to you guys.
Big facts.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Frank. Steve, what you got?
So I had a thorn today, and that was merely my lack of foresight, or that was merely my poor planning while we were at the reunion, because, you know, coming into it, I knew there was going to be unlimited drinks, some food and stuff. I was like, okay, cool. You know, everyone loves drinks, but I'm here for the water. And I was actually having such a good time, like just catching up with people, and like towards the end we started like getting more lively and started dancing and screaming and stuff, that I forgot to drink my water. And I was parched. You know, I figured for how much we paid for it, like I'd get some really nice like water,
Perrier bottles and shit.
Well, that's too nice. I don't.
You weren't expecting that level.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, like it's like minerally and stuff. I like it crisp. You know.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Smart water level. You know.
Cool.
And it was totally on me because like I said, I was just like having such a good time that I ended up being thirsty. But the after party we went to had plenty of water, so this is barely even a Thorn, honestly. I just needed something.
It's just something.
It's like a ooh.
No, it was like a.
Just a small sign.
Yeah, I was just.
That
a little
sounded like
thirsty.
you overcame a very small step.
Yeah. I have to say today was a good day. Yeah, my rose this week, today, was actually, the reunion was great, but looking back on the photography shoot we had.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a photography shoot this morning. Pics will be coming out soon, but
Lots of pics.
shout out to Chris Diamond
Yes.
at Chris Diamond. That
Yep.
motherfucker is talented as hell and awesome. Thank you for shooting us, bro.
Yeah,
Took care
man.
of us.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a group session. We had some solo shots in, and yeah, the man does work. Like I've never had a photo shoot for just something that wasn't like a graduation photo, and that was honestly a lot of fun. And Chris is someone I've kind of known for years, where me and some other friends it's just we have so many friends in common. He's thrown so many parties that we just kind of naturally end up in, and they're always
I
really
knew his
good
parties before I met him.
yeah. And I've never actually met him. I would always see him like, oh man, that guy looks really cool, really chill. And then now putting it all together, like, man, this guy's the one throwing all the parties, and he's cool, and he takes great photos.
Talented man.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we just gassing motherfuckers up in this bitch. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's all. We're just a bunch of hot air. And no, the guy's great. Chris Diamond Photography. Highly recommend
Shout
if
out.
you're in Miami, or if he goes to you.
Yeah.
Maybe he does that.
Ask him.
Yeah.
Send him a DM.
Yeah, we don't know. And lastly, my bud is actually more of not a strange one, but looking back at this whole 20 so weeks or so, and just seeing the changes, amongst each other, and some of the things that I want to change for myself is I actually am looking for a therapist.
Oh.
Yeah, I started.
Wow.
I've been looking. And
shit.
I started a search earlier this week, and yeah, I can see the hurdles that Max had to go through.
13-week
Because it's not as easy as it was. Because I did it once in college, and yeah, that took like 2 days where I just like was like, hey, I'm feeling this type of way, and can someone help me? And then yeah, within very little effort and time, I was seeing someone. But I also wasn't very selective either.
like you.
It just happened that the guy was really solid, and towards the end of our like 2-year sessions of like seeing each other, the last thing we talked about was the Yeezus concert we both went to, unknowingly. Like it wasn't until after. Yeah. So now I'm more selective, and of course I'm a lot busier than I was as a college student. So it is a bit trickier to find a medical professional who's willing to work within your schedule and is also covered by your insurance.
Yep.
Yes.
A lot of
Number hurdles
criteria.
there.
All of those things that have to line up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of tricky.
Listen, don't be upset if it takes you 13 weeks to do it.
Right. But I was looking into it more, this thing about, I think it's called like remote or online therapy.
You have online sessions.
Yeah, so if the search is a bit too burdensome, then I will try that because, I figure talking is 90% of it. Being there in person probably helps a bit too. Yeah. But yeah, it's something I'm actually really looking forward to doing.
Oh shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Big reveals over here on y'all boys talking.
Yeah.
All right.
We're learning, changing, growing. That's
layers
fantastic.
are peeling off.
Yo, we're
like
collective
onions.
onion. We're like scallions, actually.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What?
Never mind. So, my rosebud thorn this week. My rose is the fact that my boys were in my city, which is also their city. It was nice having access to these dudes, just kind of kicking it, just kind of being in the car, not saying nothing, looking at each other, dapping each other up, what I'm saying? Little things. It's good to be around the good people that you love. And it was an honor to just be in your presence this week, guys. I'm glad you made the trip. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's audience awe at this point.
Yeah.
My rose, actually, but to be more specific, I'm gonna add a double rose.
Oh, double rose.
I gave a really awesome speech, and I'm gonna pat myself on the fucking shoulder.
Yeah.
I gave a great speech to kick off the reunion, and it just came from the heart. And I told everybody, don't get mad if you forgot each other's names. If you had beef, get rid of it. Just have fun. We actually fucking got together after 10 years. So that was actually really awesome. I was kind of like looking at everybody's faces, and it was like
They're feeling it.
I caught a gleam in the eyes of everyone that was doused in nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my thorn this week was that in my neighborhood there was this cute little dog. It was a pit bull, kind of walking around. He'd bark, but then you'd pet him and he'd be fine. And somebody killed him.
What?
Yeah, somebody
cold.
killed the dog in my neighborhood. Yeah, it was bad.
That's crazy.
My roommates walked out and saw the body just there, and it was kind of sad.
Like, shot him? Or
I think they shot him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty awful. I hate to be a downer, listeners, but I was like, whatever, it's a neighborhood dog. But I just
no, you don't do
in
that.
my head, I was just like, who the hell would compel themselves to? I mean, unless it was like a life or death thing, I don't know. But that dog was nice. I don't know. Anyway, that was a bit of a thorn.
Pit bulls had a lot of misconceptions.
Exactly.
Towards them, so it's easy to see how that would be.
Yeah.
Playing a part.
And my bud is to take a break from the podcast. I'm not even gonna lie, it's gonna be nice just to kind of regulate my own goals. Just do a little shimmy there. I got some fun events coming up. You know what I'm saying? Some people visiting and shit. It's gonna be a good time. I'm glad to just kind of chill for a bit.
And I just want to make sure that the audience knows that this is not going to be this is going to be a break, but it's not going to be like, oh, maybe next year. Like, no, we will be back
this year.
In seconds.
Fairly soon. So we'll give you exact dates, a bit later. But yeah, it's not going to be that long.
If you're walking down the street and you hear these trumpets, we coming back.
But yeah, there's still plenty of y'all boy stuff. Check out the Instagram, check out the Twitter, check
out
the
old
Facebook.
episodes.
Episodes. Go through the Nonsensical Saga once again. We have a brand new YouTube channel.
If there's someone that you're watching right now, go grab them, shake them, and scream, y'all boys talking.
Yeah, if they haven't heard before, like, yo, check this bad boy out. Or even better, like, subscribe. Give us 5 stars. We've never asked you for 5 stars on iTunes.
Oh.
But you know what? Throw 5 stars on iTunes.
There you go.
There.
That helps us a lot.
Yeah, it's
more
great.
than you would think.
And if you don't want to help us, but you want to do something, just walk up to somebody, smack him in the face, and say, y'all boys talking, and then walk away.
The least you can do.
That's the least you can do.
That's violent marketing right there. I don't think that's good.
It's guerrilla marketing.
Let's not have that on the record. Anyway, on that note, it is late as hell. Max has a flight to catch. We are all sweaty and stank and tired and whatnot. So we're going to get our asses to bed. It happened, y'all. For 22 weeks, you've listened to us climb mountains. And we're glad that you were part of the ride. Stay tuned for next week. We'll see y'all next time. Deuces.
We got a couple shout outs that we want to give. Shout out to Gino Music for making the theme song. The song is called Won't Stop. Eddie and Lewis for making the interstitial music and giving us the good vibes. Follow along with our challenges at y'allboystalkin.com. Subscribe to us via iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at y'allboystalkin. New episodes every week.